What the house remembered. The afternoon light moved slowly across the living room. I noticed it because there was nothing else moving. Dust floated in the air, visible only when the sunlight touched it just right. I wondered how many days I had watched dust like this without truly seeing it. Daniel had taken off his shoes at the door without asking. That small detail stayed with me. People who had come into my house after my husband died usually moved quickly. They spoke loudly. They acted as if silence made them uncomfortable. Daniel did not rush. He stood near the doorway, waiting for me to tell him where to start. "You don't have to help," I said. "I might change my mind." "That's all right," he replied. "I'm not here to finish anything, just to begin." That sentence surprised me. I nodded and pointed toward the stack of boxes near the window. "Those," I said, "they've been sitting there for years." He walked over slowly and knelt beside them. He didn't open anything yet. Instead, he looked around. "It's a good house," he said quietly. "It feels lived in." I almost laughed. That was one way to put it. We started with the easiest things: old magazines, receipts, broken picture frames, things that no longer argued with me. Daniel sorted carefully, asking before throwing anything away. Sometimes he would pause, holding an object as if it deserved a moment of respect. I noticed my shoulders slowly lowering. I hadn't realized how tense I'd been. At some point, we ended up in the kitchen. The kitchen had always been my favorite room, not because it was beautiful, but because it was honest. Meals were made there. Arguments happened there. Silence, too. Daniel opened a drawer and stopped. Inside were dozens of small notes. My handwriting, again. "What are these?" he asked. I leaned against the counter. "Reminders," I said, "for him, for me, for later." He picked one up and read it silently. "Don't forget to buy milk. Doctor at 3 p.m. Tell Maggie she did well today." He smiled softly. "You wrote notes to yourself?" I nodded. Someone had to say it. We worked for another hour without speaking much. The house seemed to exhale. Then Daniel reached the hallway closet. I felt it before he opened the door. "No," I said, too quickly. He turned back to me at once. "All right," he said. "No problem." I surprised myself by continuing. "It's just that closet hasn't been opened since the funeral." He waited, so I spoke. "I thought if I didn't open it, time would stop there." He nodded slowly. "That makes sense." I took a breath and walked toward the closet. My hand trembled on the knob. I opened the door. Coats, shoes, a hat I had forgotten existed. The smell hit me first. Wool, cologne, time. My eyes burned. I did not cry, not yet. Daniel stepped back, giving me space. I reached inside and touched a sleeve. It felt heavier than it should have. I closed my eyes. For a moment, I wasn't 72. I was 35, 40, 50, standing in this same hallway, listening to him hum while tying his shoes. I opened my eyes again. I loved him, I said. Daniel nodded. I can tell. But I don't live there anymore, I added. That was the first time I said it out loud. The words stayed in the air between us, fragile but real. We packed the coats into boxes labeled donate, not throw away. That mattered to me. When we were done, the hallway looked wider. I felt lighter and guilty for feeling lighter. Later, we sat at the small dining table with 2 cups of tea. Daniel didn't ask personal questions. Instead, he talked about the neighborhood, the old maple tree that lost half its branches last winter, the woman down the street who still walked her dog every morning at 6, the way the street grew quiet after sunset. Ordinary things, comforting things. At one point, I realized how long it had been since I sat across from someone who wasn't family or a doctor, someone who didn't need anything from me. Why do you do this? I asked him. The helping, I mean. He considered the question. Because one day someone helped me, and it mattered more than they knew. He didn't explain further. I didn't ask. Some truths don't need details. As the light faded, Daniel stood and picked up his jacket. He should go, he said. We can continue another day if you want. Another day. The words felt strange, hopeful. Yes, I said. I think I'd like that. He smiled, not the smile of a man expecting something, just the smile of a man who would return if invited. At the door, he paused. Maggie, he said, you did something brave today. I shook my head. I only opened a closet. He met my eyes. Sometimes that's enough. After he left, the house was quiet again, but it was a different kind of quiet. Not empty, just resting. I walked back into the living room and looked at the boxes we had sorted. The wooden box with the key sat on the table. I picked it up once more. For the first time, I felt curious instead of afraid.